Empty backfield for Atlanta on first down, and it's Robinson. You heard from him with Megan moments ago. And he picks up the Falcons' first down out across the 45. Second down at 5, fake to Robinson. And now it's Robinson who makes the catch out of the backfield. Picks up a Falcons first down and more. Still going inside the 10. Touchdown! Algier in the backfield. Now Robinson shifts into the backfield. And he's the recipient of the pass from Penix. Bijan Robinson, who has the game's first touchdown. Robinson. Ooh. Good second effort. Out to the 40. Picks up a couple.
He worked out, trained a little differently this offseason. You can see the explosion immediately came off the field with that first touchdown.
There's Robinson on second down. Gain of 3, Megan. On fourth down, it is Robinson, and he will not get there.
Yeah, I don't like the play calling.
Hey, 5-4, Jay. 5-4, Jay.
Second down and 8. It's Robinson. We had a great chat with Michael Penix Jr. as well. You know, he grew up in Tampa.
As we've seen, he can be the first option for Michael Penix.
Fake to Algier.
As he is right
caught.
there.
Nice move by Robinson, and then he gets tripped up down at the 21-yard line. During the offseason, both lending their advice. Here's Robinson. And a flag comes in at the end of the run.
And congrats to Michael Vick. Got his first victory as a college head coach yesterday. And it makes sense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, their game is very similar. Different body types, but he catches the ball same way that Amon-Ra does.
Robinson on 1st and 15. Third down and 10. Falcons must get to the 29 for a first down, and they do. Robinson makes the catch. All the way down inside the Buccaneers' 15-yard line. From the 15, the give to Robinson. Stays on his feet and takes it down to the 10. On first down, it's Robinson, and he will lose yardage on the play.
Segracier Dennis.
From the Bucs 24. Robinson met by Dennis. High snap. Penix hands it off. It's Robinson. They can't bring him down. Finally, London in motion. 2nd and 4. Here's Robinson. Down inside the 2. Here we go. 1st and goal. From the Bucs 1. 3 Falcons in the backfield. The handoff to Bijan Robinson. Looks to turn the corner. And he's hit by McCollum, who has returned. Injured moments ago.
Haven't heard much from Yaya Diaby either in the pass rush.
From the 34. Penix dumps it off. Bijan Robinson. Remember, no timeouts for Atlanta. Clock continues to run.
Out of the pistol, Bijan Robinson running left through a tackle. Robinson accelerating, and there goes Robinson. Tracked down from behind at the 40 by Theo Jackson, but a big gain right out of the gate. 25 yards, one more than he had all game against Tampa last Sunday. He's got it again. He'll try it to the right, and he's got room again. Robinson into the secondary. 16 more yards. Darnell Mooney back in the lineup. He's the motion man. Run 3 for Robinson. Still a good one inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 2nd and 5. 4th run. Robinson can't get to the outside that time. They go for it here, don't get it. Great opportunity for the Falcons at the Vikings 36. After the hot first drive, right back to Robinson with the shoulder into the corner. Byron Murphy. Back in the red zone to the 15-yard line. Penix out to Robinson. Bijan Robinson did such a good job. Who is the quarterback now? Takes over at the 23. Bijan Robinson goes up to the 30-yard line, gain of about 7.
He was brilliant, threw the heck out of the ball, and we knew we had something special.
2nd and 3. This run by Robinson for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 1. Here's Melissa. Just in time. Renard got hit by 2 guys coming off the edge. One of them, Bijan Robinson, who's got some room to run. It'll be 5 yards shy of the first down as he's knocked out just past the 41-yard line. A great opportunity for Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons. Have outplayed the Vikings in this first half. We lead by 3 as this Robinson run to the 35. Bijan Robinson cuts it upfield and gets very close to the first down. As Ivan Pace brings him down.
Completely different D-line right now for the Vikings.
From the 21, here is Bijan running inside. Staying up, not down with a body part as he spun on a body and makes it a 9-yard gain out of the gate. And he's rushed for 81 yards thus far tonight. And trying to add to it here with a first down at the 32-yard line. So Bijan Robinson. Getting loud, 2nd and 15. And they use Robinson with that cut and the deep and the move. Collision at the 27-yard line. Robinson through space and into the secondary to the 22-yard line. That's 18 that time and puts Bijan over 100 yards rushing tonight. Keep feeding Robinson. One tackle, spins for a couple. So you keep hearing say Bijan Robinson, right? So it is.
And we say, well, you explain it to mom and grandma.
Exactly. Penix flushed left, and the lefty fires to the sideline and finds Bijan. It's his name, so let him say it over and over and over until you get it right. Lindstrom and the offense back out there with Bijan Robinson as the running back. They'll go to the left for a couple of yards. Robinson at 117 now. And Atlanta's done a great job here tonight. The 38, can they turn one of these into a score? Bijan Robinson was thinking that, just got pulled down before galloping into the secondary. Robinson bouncing to the outside. Pushed away from one, but not Dallas Turner, but it is enough for the first down. Goes again has to turn the other way. This time trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and Isaiah Rodgers brings him down for the loss of a couple. With a road win here in Minnesota, up 9.5 to go. Robinson left, trying to hang on to the ball as reaching for it was Eric Wilson's going to set up a big 3rd down here. 2nd and 9 for the Falcons. Bijan Robinson stopped by Ivan Pace. 3rd and 7. They'll run it. Robinson going to bounce it. Got away from 3 tackles. Put his head down and got within a half yard of the first down.
On first down, Robinson gets his first touch. A little slip as he tried to cut to his right. Picks up 3 on first down. On first down, Robinson hits by the initial wave, lowers the shoulder, and is dropped after a gain of only 1.
Nice job.
2. First down for Atlanta at the 26. With Robinson getting the call. Cracks helmets across the 30. Bijan Robinson. Here he is again. And Robinson muscles his way to the 35. And it gives the Falcons terrific field position. Robinson cuts, stops, lowers the shoulder, and is brought down with authority. Fake it to McLeod. Penix rolls to his left. Hits Robinson underneath, and he'll scamper out of bounds for a first down, a gain of 10. Fake it to McLeod. Penix rolls to his left. Hits Robinson underneath, and he'll scamper out of bounds for a first down, a gain of 10. Hit a big one in week 1, 50-yard touchdown reception. On first down, Penix hits Robinson again, who is knocked out of bounds by Merrick, leading tackler for the Panthers this season. Bunch set up top. It's Robinson getting the carry, and he nearly got away. Penix keeps it short with Robinson, who has the first down and more. Robinson across midfield. And he's into plus territory, pushed out by Nick Scott. There's the first big one of the afternoon, a gain of 25. Hand off for Robinson. And Robinson nearly broke free.
Mike Jackson did a great job, or that's 6.
Robinson again. Up the middle.
Oh, he has such good runner's patience. The great players usually do.
Robinson again. Lowers the shoulder, picks up 2. Tied for the second longest playoff droughts in the NFL. And off to a 1-1 start. Carolina 0-2. There's Bijan Robinson. Picks up 1 on first down. First down for Atlanta at their own 22. Pitch it to Robinson. And Robinson rounds the corner, still with running room along the sideline. And a first down for Atlanta. Sarah. So's a newcomer with Casey Washington out. Robinson picks up the first down, muscles his way near midfield.
Let's see if the game plan changes a little bit.
Hand off to Robinson here.
Yep, he's just getting the first down.
Had signed a 4-year, $180 million contract, where they then drafted Penix. Robinson comes back to the ball, makes the catch. Only be a gain of 2 here. Mike Jackson, nice form tackle. Cousins to Robinson, who's met in the flat.
Yeah, they got to get it. That number 2 receiver, if they're going levels.
Robinson in the backfield, they will work out of the pistol to open up. The give to Robinson, patience, and he's down at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Tackle was made by the rookie Trey Amos. They're going to go back to the ground. Hard cut by Robinson, and he falls forward for a gain of 3. Robinson sets up behind Penix. It's Robinson again. Robinson, the zigzag move for the first down. His ability to cut on a dime is elite. That's 9 yards. Ultimate praise. He said he could be the best running back in the NFL. His cuts are crazy. Robinson again. Robinson, the shifty move.
Weaknesses chart for our opponent. Bijan has 0.
Robinson. Oh, he loses the ball. Penix is there. It rolled back to the QB.
Weaknesses chart for our opponent. Bijan has 0.
Robinson. Oh, he loses the ball. Penix is there. It rolled back to the QB. 2 on the season. Commanders are 2-1. Open up this drive at the 27. Pitch it to Robinson. He's got a blocker, turns the corner, and then veers towards the sideline.
You saw it after the first series, guys. Spent time with Penix Jr., but also touch base with wide receivers, offensive line, every position group.
And Robinson is going to get the first down. Won't go down. So pistol formation here for Atlanta. Need a yard to move the chains. Motion man is Warner. Give it to Robinson. He's not going to go down on first contact. London is on the sideline. Penix on 3rd and 3. He will throw it, and it's on time for Robinson. First down. Give it. Robinson squeezes through and carries to the 5. And we're seeing the big-time play potential of the Atlanta offense as Robinson stumbles for 2. Pistol formation with Robinson. Give it to him. Bijan with the mustard. Touchdown. 3rd down and 1. Robinson stops, and Robinson is pushed backwards. Big Eddie Goldman. They came in with the 2nd highest drop rate in the NFL so far in this young season. Just one that I can remember, Ray McLeod early. Penix will throw it. In stride. Robinson. Bijan Robinson gets caught from behind. He nearly goes the distance. Jeremy Reeves gets there. Touchback, so Atlanta gets it at the 20-yard line. 6:47 mark of the 3rd. It's a handoff. Robinson. Penix. High throw. It's handled by Robinson. Showing off the full repertoire. Penix now 16 of 22, 259 yards. It's the pistol package to Robinson, and Robinson doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with because Frankie Louvu held his spot. 3rd down and 2. Penix. That was easy to Robinson, and he drives across the 30-yard line. Just working on his explosiveness, and then pool work, working on his breathing. Hard cut. Robinson slowed down. Robinson backpedals for a 1st down. 31-24 Falcons. Robinson stutter step. Bijan Robinson leans forward for 5. 2 100-yard receivers today, Robinson and London. This is a running play for Robinson. You got 4 defenders in the area, led by Dorrance Armstrong.
Only wide receiver active tonight for Atlanta that has more than 6 catches on the season. This is Robinson with the right side dragged down for about 4. See the Falcons lineup. Robinson sent out to the right. And now comes in motion. And gets it on the end around with some momentum. Bijan gets downhill in a hurry and bangs down to the 21 before Christian Benford stopped it. Unsettling start, even though the fumble didn't count, and just 2 touches for Robinson. Penix from the pocket across the middle. Big shot delivered on Bijan as he made the catch. Picked up 8, but paid for it. Zepanessa hit him. Robinson motions back to the pistol and has it. Cutting back and lowers the shoulder. I guess the scouting report on Penix saying is if you can take away his first read, Robinson picked up 8 on that. So 2nd and 8. Got it again. And he's going to be sworn, brought down by Terrell Bernard, the captain and one of the leaders of the Buffalo defense.
2nd most dangerous weapon in Drake London.
Who's the first dangerous weapon? Bijan Robinson. Still running hard, dragging tacklers down inside the 10. Robinson shows the quickness and the power in one run. Motion back in and give it to Robinson again. This time the middle is plugged up and he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Penix, a 1st and 5. Robinson off the right side, breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline, still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown, Falcons, 81 yards. Robinson lined up in the end zone, takes the handoff there, and then quickly darts forward. The 2nd longest touchdown run in Falcons history. Only Warwick Dunn house one from longer than the 81-yard scamper. Robinson again. And now to the 15, right near the marker. Spot him just short. Penix building on that career performance before the bye. The win here against Washington. Robinson on the end around. And they haven't really hit him. They haven't affected him much. They've been moving him around, and it's been hard for the Bills to find him. And this 3rd down, Penix again has a little time. Robinson on the bobble. It came out wobbly as that time they did get near the quarterback. Marcus Ingram in at corner. You saw Benford walk off. Bijan hits the hole quickly. Darts forward, 1st down. See the block that Bijan Robinson threw on Oliver there? Threw his body into it. And now, after taking those shots downfield. They just run it into the middle. Things getting a little salty here. Pushing and shoving. London is involved. Our first possession of the half for Penix and the Falcons, darn near unstoppable in the first half. And there's Bijan up the left side, still driving. They get him down after about an 8-yard gain. Peter, wear and tear mounting on both sides. Meanwhile, Robinson, hesitation enough to move the 6 and get this drive going. Didn't have it in the first series of this half. Bijan to the right as a crease. Robinson makes a cut and is knocked down from behind, but rips off 11. It'd be a very, very important moment in this game as the Falcons quickly behind Robinson's run get into Buffalo territory. That time they grab him behind the line, and he is slammed down by Deon Walker, a rookie who's stepping up with Daquan Jones out tonight.
And give your defensive line a shot to get to the quarterback.
Fake to Robinson. Now they throw it to him. Blockers on the edge. Bijan makes a move. Dancing back and forth. Bijan still alive. Still running. Down in the red zone. Electric number 7. Try to get their offense going. Very quiet third quarter. Bijan can get noisy in a hurry, though. Robinson got 9 on first down. Motions back. Takes the deep handoff. And that time he's going to be grabbed and slung down behind the line. Big Ed Oliver.
Now you're almost inside of 6 minutes. This is where the money's made.
Penix throws it. Robinson on the edge shows that burst of speed. He only had 50 yards in their first 16 plays of the half. Couple of punts and a blocked field goal. That's it after the break. Pass rush comes at him, and Penix flips it out there to Robinson. They left him alone, and Bijan makes him pay. Penix just got that off before the rush arrived, and they pick up 23. It's a play to remember as Atlanta tries to seal this.
There you go.
Screen. Bijan. Had to go down low. It had been deflected at the line there by Epinesa, so it got there slowly and allowed the pursuit to catch up to Robinson. Robinson back in the game. Bills crowd the line. Robinson tries to run to the right, finds space. Runs through a tackle and a nice chunk on first down.
Begins in the 22. Niners back onside as Robinson runs right for 3. Robinson, the motion man, looking that way, throwing to Bijan. He's got it. Where's the spot? Got to get to the 32-yard line. He's ruled out of bounds just shy of it. Michael Penix Jr. giving to Bijan Robinson. Contacted. Good play up front by that Michael Williams-led Niners defense. Backs it up to 1st and 20. And Robinson tackled inside by Tatum Bethune. I mentioned Fred Warner and his injury suffered last week in the loss at Tampa Bay. To Robinson, got a good block. Bijan able to get the first down at the 44-yard line, as Atlanta has built a nice drive here. Robinson. Cut, foot in the ground, got forward. Mooney in motion at the top on 2nd and 10. Penix, every look is covered. Penix has a lot of space to his right and throws on the run complete. Good job to come back and get it. A lot of folks taken out there on the sideline. Rules analyst Terry McCauley plays 16 of this second drive of the game for the Falcons. And to their guy, Bijan Robinson at the 17-yard line. And we've seen all of them in the first 19 plays for the Falcons thus far. Play 20. Oh, what a cut by Robinson. Can't make the second one to get away. He'll get 2 yards out of that. Longest they've had in plays in time this year. Bijan Robinson, great left-handed grab on the pitch. There's a hair behind him. And only a gain of a yard as the Niners swarm to the ball. Great field position to start for the Falcons. At the Niners 48. Counter, Robinson left. Bijan hit it hard, gets a half dozen. Leading rushing team in the NFL, 2nd in yards. As Chris said earlier, trouble converting it to points. A couple of yards for Robinson. Robinson to the 10. And a gain of 8 on first down. Charlie Werner, 89, essentially plays so much fullback role for this Falcons team. Next to Penix and protecting. Robinson, edge, first down. Bijan Robinson, touchdown Atlanta. Oh, the speed and power of Robinson for 6. Here he is, traditional running back. He moves and swerves for great talent. Gloves are good too. Robinson to the left for a couple. Held more in check tonight. He's got 72 yards on 16 touches. Here's touch 17 with a block and a first down to the 39-yard line and 15 to the Robinson total. Both he and Algier in the game, and that time stopped up by this San Francisco front and Tatum Bethune trying to tie or take the lead here in the 4th. Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson cuts back to the inside and gets to the 35-yard line. We're in field goal range, need a yard for the first down. Toss to the edge, Robinson can't get there. Trying to get the blocking over there. Can get a hat on a hat.
Mooney is on the move. Bijan Robinson will get the call. Chubb is the one to slow him down right off the bat. And a gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9.
No Drake London, and we'll see how you utilize Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson in the pass game.
Kadero Hodge is starting. There's a quick tackle made by Jordan Brooks. Leads the league in tackles. Boy, he went flying through and brings down Robinson. He led Atlanta in receiving 3 consecutive seasons. 2nd down 4. Robinson tries to find a crack, and then he's brought down by Tyrell Dodson. No first quarter touchdowns allowed by the Dolphins now. 5 consecutive games. They go outside, 1st and 10. Robinson grabbed by Brooks, wrestled out of bounds. They had some scoring issues, especially in the red zone. 2nd and 7. A bolt by Robinson down to the 25.
So far, that's carried through here as he's 5 of 6 to start this game off.
It's 3rd and 10. Robinson gets the call, and down he goes. Brooks on him, and Miami stops him. Rasul Douglas jumping on him, too, at the 7, gain of 4. Bijan Robinson is the back, and Cousins will give it to one of the best running backs in the NFL. Dragged down inside. Jordan Phillips, rookie Maryland. Charlie Warner, the tight end, is on the move. Robinson again. You kind of get a feel we're going to get a heavy diet of him, and they plug it up well. And Chubb. Bijan Robinson, 7 carries, 19 yards. It's 1st and 10. It goes to Robinson. Trying to get a block, and Matthews provides. He gets another block downfield from Hodge, and he takes the ball into the grasp of Melifonwu. Number 1 in scrimmage yards per game in the NFL. Today, though, held in check until that play from the 19.
They've scored more points today than they have all season long. The defense
with a 2nd down and 5, and up the middle he goes, and that'll be shy of the first. Robinson is waylaid by Dodson. 3rd down 1, and they convert right there with Robinson picking and poking his way to the 32.
We thought it was all about the Super Bowl team back in 01.
On 1st down, Bijan Robinson fields it, and Robinson picks up 2 on the play. 1st down and 10 for Penix. Robinson in motion, takes the handoff. And Bijan Robinson runs right into Jack Gibbons. On 1st down, Robinson spun down, and Caleb Chason having a huge opening quarter for the Patriots. And they got him on a 1-year, $3 million contract. Robinson, nice catch along the sideline. Penix looking for Robinson. He's got him at the 9-yard line. Robinson 1st down, nudged out of bounds, just shy of the pylon.
Before New England gets the football back.
Here's Robinson on 1st down, runs right into his own man, but then that 2nd effort gives him 5 yards. Here's Robinson on 1st down, and Bijan out to the 20-yard line. A quick pass to Robinson. Takes a block from Pitts, and maybe gets a yard before Landry slams him down.
Probably have kept him from doing more of this.
Robinson takes the pitch, running right, not much there, and forced out of bounds. Penix, and he's got Bijan Robinson, and that's what the Patriots worked on all weeks. Penix for Robinson again, and they've got the first down.
See if Spillane or someone sits in the middle in case Penix wants to go.
He flips it to Robinson, who juggles it. Robinson not able to turn the corner. Gonzalez runs him out. Either way, critical error there by Atlanta, having to use a timeout as Robinson running left, stutter step by Bijan, and then brought down on the play. On second down, Penix. Oh, what a catch with one hand! Bijan Robinson with one for the highlight reel. A first down and a gain of 9. It was a 40-yard completion. Robinson now, and he's tackled by Marcus Jones. And you hope for the Patriots' sake that Gonzalez is okay, but you think back to the summer. Penix, tough pass. Robinson makes another acrobatic catch, but the Patriots are ready for him, led by Carlton Davis. He takes the handoff here. Bijan inside the 10 and stretches up to the 7-yard line.
Caleb Williams, you always have a little chip on your shoulder.
Here's his opportunity now in his backyard.
Bijan Robinson breaks a couple of tackles, almost was able to sneak free to the second level to run for 50 yards in a game this year. Back to Bijan. He's got the first down.
And now Michael Penix Jr. and company take over from the 27. And here is their top back, Bijan Robinson, with an excellent run to start Atlanta's offensive day.
Continue to hurt him.
Kind of a microcosm of what Atlanta's offense has been this year. A lot of talent, very inconsistent. There's Robinson as he picks up a couple, and it's going to set up third down and 8. 43 yards in 2 plays. Now Bijan Robinson with a good first down run. They were in a lot of third and longs last week. It was a rough week for Atlanta against New England, and very good New England defense. Robinson, and he gets tripped up right near the line of scrimmage. Good play by the third-year man out of Northwestern, Adetomiwa Adebare.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on top of team schedule, and certainly it's been a whirlwind of a week, but he wasn't going to miss this game. Love the matchups.
Robinson runs this one, stays out of bounds, and Gardner on that side of the field. Right back to Bijan Robinson, and he pushes ahead. Will set up second down. Robinson is lined up wide at the top. Smoke screen for Robinson, who got hit and juggled it and then recovered it after the Blackman delivery. After a missed field goal, good field position for Atlanta, and Bijan Robinson on a first down carry. Only a yard or more, tackled by Zaire Franklin as we get more from Christina Pink down to the field. Cover corners in the NFL since he came in 2022 and won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to be a big part of this defense going forward. Robinson on the run. He gets brought down by Latu. He's averaging nearly 20 per. Robinson back in, good move, and he's able to advance forward down near the 15. Now they've got Werner in there as the lone tight end. Well, this is 22 personnel, or 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. And it's Robinson, one of those backs, picking up another Atlanta first down. To Atlanta with field position at the 44. Back-to-back drives with good field position. Here is Robinson, and he pinballs past. Now right back to Bijan Robinson, who got a little bit of a breather. He runs it out to the 11-yard line. From the 23, Robinson. This is where he does most of his damage, outside the tackles, getting to the sideline and run out by Bynum.
And press the line of scrimmage and make those one cuts is where he's so dangerous.
First a run to the left, now a run to the right, and a first down.
Exhibit A.
Number 8 pick in 2023. Seeking space. And he'll get stopped at the 40 as we check in with KP. Now London motions outside against Gardner. Penix under pressure from Grover Stewart. Being chased by multiple Colts and finds Robinson up the sideline. Picks up 8 yards there. Nice scramble by Penix. Going back to his time in Washington in college. It is Robinson. That ball came out momentarily, but he was already down. And it's Bijan Robinson. And his 17th carry of this day to the 31-yard line. Jermaine Pratt is there for the stop.
6 out of 10 run plays are outside zone out of that pistol formation that they use more than anybody in the league. And it's another handoff to Robinson. But we expect both these teams are going to be pretty run heavy today. That's why. And he's got the first down for Atlanta. Now Robinson looking for the left side. He's been bottled up the last 4 games during this losing streak. And it's Wharton and Robinson that time. Unreal, just roaming 3. It's Robinson, and he breaks 2 tackles. Oh my, what a rugged run that was. It is the 3rd touch of the second half for Robinson, and he finds his way to that 3rd level again, and it's 2nd down coming up.
We'll make that unblocked defender miss.
Short toss to him here, and he is swarmed and dropped. What a read by Scorton. So I want to ask you about that after the play here, but first down for Atlanta. It's Cousins throwing to Robinson. And Bijan Robinson down the sideline. So what can the receivers do to adjust? Michael Penix Jr. out of the game. Kirk Cousins on a stretch play to the right, and it's Robinson dragging for an extra yard. Horn got in there. The question of, do you try to take the 3, make it a touchdown to beat you, might arise as well. It's Robinson again, and he is hammered by Sherrillis. Cousins. Robinson, catch and run. Nice ball placement for the catch and run from Cousins inside the 35. First down, Atlanta. It is a stretch play. It is Robinson. He thought about carving it outside.
Not always going to be perfect, Adam.
Good stuff, KP. And Cousins tosses to Bijan Robinson. He gets grabbed by Chase Young after a short gain. Front roll to be the backup. Makes his 2nd start of the season. Right back to Bijan Robinson. This is where he does most of his damage on the outside in that zone scheme. Nice job by Alontae Taylor to come up and meet him for the tackle. So Kirk Cousins from the 39. And it will be another handoff. Bijan Robinson trying to push forward. Not much room there. Finally, Nathan Shepard finishes it off a couple of weeks ago. Right back to Robinson. There's some of that cut ability that he's well known for. He'll pick up 4 as we check in with Carissa Thompson for a game break. With Kirk Cousins as the main quarterback. They're looking for some of that today. Robinson a short gain. This has been kind of... And it's an under center snap for Kirk Cousins, giving it to Robinson. And he lunges out towards midfield. That's another one of the big changes. Cousins swings it out. Here's Robinson. This is where he's dangerous. In space. Sills a block. Robinson chased down. Finally brought down by the veteran Justin Reed. Cousins hurrying up the snap. Got it to Robinson, and he gets wrapped up by Pete Werner for a loss. Keep it with Robinson. What a cutback. First down. Bijan Robinson inside the 25-yard line. Here's Robinson trying to get to the outside, and he powers through a couple of defenders. Chase Young is holding on to the back of that Robinson jersey. Saints back off. They bring just 4. Swing it out. Robinson, good job of holding on to it, and he stops the clock running out of bounds. 3rd and 7. Atlanta will keep it conservative here, but could pick up the first. Robinson gets very close. Mike Pereira on top of it as always. So 2nd and a quarter of the field. Robinson got some blockers in front, and he bursts through the alley, and he gets knocked down by Demario Davis. And they pick up all of that yardage back and then some. A 33-yard play for Bijan Robinson. Atlanta averaging 15 yards per play in those 8. There's Robinson, and he gets a good run on first down to the 33, grabbed by Jonas Sanker, and line up right back as a tight end. Robinson, patient run, looking for the cutback. He's right near the line to gain. Justin Reed brings him down maybe a half yard shy. Still 6:40 to play. It's Robinson trying to cut it back. That was nicely done by Justin Reed getting into the backfield. He tripped it up, and Robinson was brought down by Jordan.
Second start of the season for the 14-year vet Cousins. Handing it off to Robinson on first down. Out across the 30-yard line.
That's what's making him special this year.
3 tight ends on the field for the Falcons as Robinson picks up a first down.
And they're going to have to hold up in the run game if they have a chance to win this game.
Teammate of Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. Cousins hands it off. Here's Robinson. Gains 4 on first down. From the 34 on first down, the give to Robinson. And Robinson gains 9 out to the 43. Second down and 1. Robinson picks up the first.
Was the only player that reminded him of Bijan Robinson.
Right, his college teammate who had a terrific NFL career. And here's Robinson on cue across midfield and then finally tripped up. Robinson split out wide to the left.
As a first option. There he is.
Into the hands of Robinson. And he works his way down to the 37-yard line. On second and short, Robinson is bent in the backfield by Briggs. Robinson picks up a Falcons first, so plays at Hofstra 94-97. Aaron Glenn was a player at the time with the New York Jets.
Herm Edwards, my head coach, he drafted me in 2004 as the one that brought Raheem Morris in.
Nice tackle.
Nice tackle.
This is the best starting field position for the Falcons. Robinson, first down out across midfield. Second down and 6 on the toss. It's Robinson, bounces off a tackle and then is pulled down after a short gain by Quincy Williams. From the Jets 30, it's Robinson up the middle. Gain of 7 to the Jets 23. Now Robinson shifts into the backfield. Falcons have all 3 of their timeouts. The give to Robinson. Gain of 5 to the Jets 15. Then at fullback. With Quinn leading the way, here is Robinson, and he is brought down shy of the goal line. Second down and 3 for Atlanta. Here's Robinson. Robinson out across the 30-yard line. Play action here. Cousins steps up, dumps it off. It's Robinson. First down and more. Robinson inside the 35. There's a flag as Cousins took a hit after getting rid of the football. 52 yards from Tyrod Taylor to Adonai Mitchell. Third down and 2. The handoff. Robinson cuts to the outside and takes it in for a Falcons touchdown.
Quickly on a jet to New Orleans, where I won a Super Bowl.
He became Saints man. Second down and 6. Here's Robinson. Robinson to the 34. He was the 4th overall pick by the Falcons back in 21. Third down and 8. Here's Robinson, and he is bent immediately. Brought down by Will McDonald. From the Jets 39 on the toss, it is Robinson. Bijan Robinson Second down and 7. Here's Robinson. Robinson brought down by McDonald. From the 26, Cousins swings it out to Robinson. Out across the 30. And we head west for a game break, Carissa. And the Falcons tied. Here's Robinson, first down. Out across the 45. There's Robinson again.
Of course, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts on the other side, they've been having a phenomenal game.
Robinson takes the handoff. In the second half, 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals, 2 missed field goals.
He's in a good spot right now, a really good spot.
Julian Love out to start for Seattle, and Robinson into the arms of Ernest Jones.
Outside in the pass game, he's running wide receiver routes. The entire offense centers around Bijan Robinson.
On second down and 5, trying to pick his way through this Seattle defense and down at the 31-yard line. On third down, Cousins in a clean pocket finds Robinson, and Robinson out across the 35.
On that pass game component of you, he's even being afforded more opportunities than he thought.
And Robinson again. You get the idea with Atlanta. It's a lot of number 7. Wide receiver out for the 3rd straight game with a PCL injury, so you're going to see Bijan Robinson in a whole lot of different spaces. Finds a crease there and is upended by Devin Witherspoon. Easier said for some teams than others, especially when you have a guy like this to run the football. Bijan Robinson with a jump cut to the outside, little duck of the shoulders, and gets an extra yard or 2 up the sideline.
Has taken the field the last 4 games, and 3 of those 4 games an opportunity to close out and haven't been able to do it.
Bijan Robinson, that looked like it was going for negative yardage because DeMarcus Lawrence was on his hip. 2nd and 4. And Robinson close to an Atlanta first down. Might be about a yard shy. The flip to Robinson. Trying to find some room behind Jake Matthews, and on the short side of the field, just nothing there. Drake Thomas and Ty Okada close it down. Now 3rd and long for Atlanta.
And punting in that situation and making the Falcons drive the field.
Here's Robinson on first down, stretching it out, and Robinson with a flag down behind the play. Picks up 11 for the moment to the Seattle 19.
And capitalize in poor field position of getting the ball back or holding them to a field goal.
Good start for this defense. The penalty pushing the Falcons back,
and really capitalizing on those opportunities that present themselves.
Cousins sets up the screen for Robinson, makes the first man miss, but right into the arms of Devin Witherspoon, who's able to wrestle him down near the 31-yard line. With a name like Kobe Bryant, you can't avoid watching basketball. Worst start of the day for Atlanta. Bijan Robinson trying to help out that field position, and he's out to the 20. Sills in motion. 2nd down handoff. Robinson able to bounce it to the edge for the first down. Out to the 26. Here's Robinson out of the backfield, and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Here's Robinson out of the backfield, and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. On first down and 10, the handoff is to Bijan Robinson. A little bit of power at the end of the run for 3. 2nd and 7. Robinson again. Looking for a space, somehow finds one, bounces to the outside, and he's got a first down.
You know, the field goal at the end of half, they come out, return the kickoff for a touchdown.
Here's Robinson. Not much there this time.
Yeah, we've been our own worst enemy on the field this afternoon.
Robinson tripped up near the 38-yard line.
Talk about the way that Mike McDonald has preached it to his team.
And if you're Atlanta, you're looking at a couple of those sequences and you're saying, it's 2 of our most reliable guys that faltered. Bijan Robinson, one of the best of the game.
You know, we're kind of seeing, what happens in those tight fits.
Here's Robinson up the middle. Boye Mafe with the tackle at the 13.
And not the 2, and that's where they start here out of the pistol. With the ball handed off on first down to Bijan Robinson. Well, he was going to be the mentor for Penix and was last year until the final 3 games of the season when Michael took over. Nice hole here and exploited, and that'll be a first down. Robinson. Robinson.
You know, he and Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, the best that there is.
Check it over to Robinson. There he is. Down the sideline he goes. And that'll be a first down for the man with a flag thrown. Robinson back in the game on a 2nd and 7. Takes it to the outside. He goes. Takes the ball into Bucs territory. Robinson to the 41-yard line he goes. Back here, Al Michaels along with Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung. Cousins on the 2nd and 12. Dumps it. Robinson, nice move, and Robinson takes it to the 35-yard line to set up 3rd and manageable. Broke away from Parrish. 3 field goals in their loss to the Seahawks at home. To the 24-yard line this time goes Robinson, flagged down. You want Carolina in between as Seattle. Bijan Robinson on a first down. Off he goes. But you've got a flag at the 43-yard line. They still don't get respect on AWS. I mean, these teams have the same record. Meanwhile, look at this run by Robinson on a 1st and 16 for the league's 4th leading rusher. Can he pick up some more? Yes, he does. To try to secure the division title and a home game in the playoffs. Pass here is caught and taken for close to a first down by Robinson. They took the first down away on the last play. Now it's 2nd down and inches as this drive resumes, and that picks up the first down there to the 47-yard line. Goes Bijan Robinson. They have all of their timeouts to the Falcons. From the 35, they begin this drive. Off the play fake, the pump fake underneath. They go to Bijan Robinson for a gain of 16 yards.
He's been in his zone, continues to play well here in the second half, get it started.
Crew had just 4 days to get the field in decent enough shape. Again, picking and threading his way in a nice gain of 5, and a good tackle is made on top of that there.
You got to have that kind of versatility.
Same man, great tackle into the backfield. Yaya Diaby to knock him down behind the line of scrimmage. Deep drop, pass is caught, tackle avoided. Look at Robinson go all the way to the 44-yard line. Not an easy chore coming up this week. Start this drive, 14-yard line. Gain of a couple here for Bijan Robinson. Robinson tonight, 13 carries.
He's been dealing with stuff all year.
So that graphic with the whole offense is Robinson and Pitts. Put Robinson out wide. Come over here. This is Robinson. And he 3rd down 3. Cousins throws, caught. There he is, the wide receiver skills of Robinson in evidence right there. 12 and a half left. Robinson to the outside. On the ground. To the outside. Into the end zone. Bijan Robinson for the touchdown. So Robinson puts it in. And all of a sudden, the 14-point game is on the cusp of going to 7. 8:22 in regulation. They get the ball to the Falcons at the 33-yard line. Breaking free. Here he goes again. Down the sideline, picks up about 90 rushing yards, 82 receiving yards. 172 from scrimmage for a guy who leads the league in yards from scrimmage. Picks up 3 here on the ground. Atlanta with 111 rushing yards tonight. On first down, Robinson gets tripped before he could accelerate. Field goal attempt. First down. On the ground. No gain.
He's got Bijan Robinson behind him, the Arizona native. Robinson playing here for the second time. His opening carry looks a lot like that high school footage at South Point Catholic. He just ran through kids there. It's a gain of 9. Bijan Robinson, his former teammate with the Falcons, said that. Little hesitation, and then he just becomes a bulldozer for a couple yards. And a first down into this Cardinals defense. After another first down incompletion, they will spit it out for Robinson. Bijan Robinson on the swing pass, coming off a career-high 8 catches against the Buccaneers. And he is the tailback on a first down with Mooney in motion. They will give it, and Robinson changing direction, trying to bounce outside beyond Pitts, and he is out of bounds.
I'm so glad to see all my family and friends that will be in attendance.
What a cool moment for him. Truly a dream come true. And the runs, it's so funny. Multiple running backs that you plan to rely on this year, as Atlanta will run it again with Robinson trying to sneak through that hole, and he is smothered by Dalvin Tomlinson. 14 years in the NFL, and you talk about formative ages as Cousins goes off play action, and he'll drop it off. Catch and run for Robinson. What balance! That is an outrageous run to square his hips. Right back to him. Robinson explodes to the 13.
Just look at the acceleration.
One of those high-level traits. See if they feed him again, maybe out of the backfield. Yes, indeed. Catch and run. Robinson is gone. Arizona's native son scores against the Cardinals. Second down, Robinson the motion man. Bijan Robinson flowing with the play. Sidestep twice and a first down. Could be a running down, certainly. Robinson the tailback, and they will feed him. Robinson trying to break a tackle. He is stood up by Budda Baker and knocked down short of the line to gain.
Falcons offense has been a heavy dose of Bijan Robinson, but they've gotten Pitts more involved. London's involvement too will be the next step.
Robinson on the run. That was gummed up immediately. Zaven Collins with the tackle. The motion from Warner. It's Robinson again. He sees 2 on the edge and ran away from Johnson. It's a loss of 6 on the play to set up 2nd and 16. Cousins to Robinson. Bijan Robinson running behind Lindstrom. Robinson explosive again to pick up 15.
Space, and you wanted no part of that.
It became a tag right there. Robinson off a spin. He goes down. Simon the tackle, but Zaven Collins was in there first again to set up a 4th down. First down. Right back to the ground. Robinson covers it up and ends up with 3.
Lowest field goal percentage in the NFL for those qualifying.
Play action for Cousins. And he'll throw Robinson open. Bijan Robinson breaks a tackle for 9. Right back there. Stretch play. Robinson breaks free. Changing direction and now on the gas pedal for a first down. He has just become the 3rd Falcon ever to have 2,000 yards. Cousins swinging out wide. Robinson, secure hands on the catch and a first down. He put the shoulder into Denzel Burke. Robinson, the tailback. Bijan Robinson, stop at a jump cut, and he's dragged down. Darius Robinson in there first. Stricken from his record. It's Robinson on the handoff, looking for his 2nd score, and he goes down short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd down and goal coming up. Out of the bunch, Robinson is over there. Throw it his direction. Robinson behind Pitts, and he is going to be about a yard short. Trying to close out a win on the road in Arizona. Robinson is a yard short.